Welcome to you. My name is Chioma Okpara. This is Art and Leisure. I have our program that celebrates creativity in the arts. We also tell about the goings on in the culture and leisure worlds. Last year, ARTZERO took everyone back to the basic of art when 12 of our members put their thoughts on paper and expressed the same in one medium, drawing. This year, 26 of them have showed art pieces done in the middle of drawing, original print, and digital art. They all used pencil. Take a look. These works reflect what's going through the minds of these creative people. Therefore, the group exhibition is titled Thoughts in Lines.
The title of this work is Windows to the Soul. It's basically a depiction of the accessways to the human soul. I mean, the human soul isn't physically represented in the human body, but it's perceived that it's somewhere as part of the human body. You know, we have the body, spirit, and the soul. Accessways to the human soul basically are through the eyes, basically through what you see, what you hear, and what you perceive, which is in the mind. The mind is also an abstract thing. It's not physically represented.
Identity and its charcoal on paper. It explains the human purpose, its uniqueness, and its ideas and existence. Identity tries to explain that every human becomes what he or she thinks about.
This work is titled Waiting, and I use pastel in executing it. In life, we can actually take our time in doing some things, you know. We don't always need to be in a hurry.
They're inspired by what they see, read, or hear about.
Chillaxing. It's charcoal on paper. The drawing depicts a wheelbarrow boy that we see in the popular busy market areas in Lagos. Most of them are from the northern part of Nigeria, but the work they do in the market area of Lagos is to help people with their loads, carry them from one place to another. So right now, what is happening to the wheelbarrow boy now is just relaxing and waiting for a potential customer.
Meditation on a hobby snail. The title itself was inspired by one of the books of one of the noted art historians, which is titled Meditation on a Hobby Horse by Gombrich. It's part of the series, an ongoing series that I'm working on that is based on the present political situation in the country. The first one, which I exhibited in my solo, was titled The Return of the Saint, which is there I'm trying to explain the second coming of the present president of our country. Yeah, at one point they said they gave him a name, they called him Baba Go Slow. And here I'm trying to tell him that you have to have patience and allow him to, you know, perform.
The work I have here, the title is Amaka. It's a word in Igbo language that says beauty, and actually that happens to be the name of my fiancée. We're going to be getting married very soon. So I actually did this drawing on her birthday. She's fair in complexion, so I decided to, you know, create it like a silhouette, you know, showing the fairness and all that. So, and this really shows an African woman, you know, an African woman and the beauty of African women. That's just what I just tried to showcase here.
Some relive childhood memories.
The work is titled Benevolence, which has to do with the favor and grace children often enjoy from their mothers. It's more something personal because growing up as a child, I enjoyed a lot of influences or stuff from my mother. As an artist, I try to often transfer my personal experiences into what I do.
The title of this work is Reflection. What basically I'm trying to say is, you know, during childhood, it comes with two-dimensional artistic expression, which I would say, from a pencil angle, now you could see now that the reflection of the child is actually could be also be mirror.
Abojagboro, mother-friendly. It's actually a surreal drawing talking about motherhood, the relationship that should be between the mother and his baby, and a baby inside her. You can see a lot of activities going on here. On this side, you have the baby inside the womb. Here, the baby has been born. But the process of growing inside the mother, the baby definitely will take the nourishment from the mother.
3 guest artists, namely Moses Osawe, Bernard Onyemobi, and Mukaila Ayoade, also have their works on display.
The title is Gateway to the Ancestors. It entails about the past glory of our forefathers. That is why I did the work, trying to show us or show the future generation what the whole thing was all about in those days.
ARTZERO is 13 years old. It is an art group on a mission to bring art and artists closer to the people. Art on paper with the subtitle Thoughts in Lines is their annual project.
Aside from encouraging people to see drawing as an art, we also want to promote the young artists, because if you look at the cost of art materials and all that, it's easier for them to express themselves with pencil, charcoals, these mediums that we have for drawings.
ARTZERO has been quite a kind of a platform for artists, the upcoming, and some who have been practicing or who have not been able to get into the mainstream, kind of midwifing them, give them the necessary confidence, give them the advice through seminars and workshops.
Veterans and other art enthusiasts are quite pleased with the group.
A lot of people don't see drawings as an end in itself. They see drawing as a process, to a product, which is the final work. But when people have decided, to make an end with the drawings, it is quite a welcome idea and very refreshing.
They have actually taken it to another level, and so I'm actually happy that this is coming up, reminding us that look, the medium pencil is actually the first medium the artists go trained with.
ARTZERO should be congratulated, not only for consistently becoming a staple, as far as I'm concerned, in the artistic landscape, but for constantly infusing new blood.
In more than a decade of its existence, ARTZERO has had more high points than low points. Its long-term plan is to establish a center for research and other intellectual exchanges. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that report. Now to a master who exhibits every year. Raqib Bashorun has a knack for details. He's one man who gives command to wood and metal, and they obey. We're about to see we confirm what I called him, a master. Do stay. The art pieces are in different shapes and sizes. Raqib Bashorun titled the solo exhibition, Evolving in 360.
I've used a lot of materials, different materials, diverse materials. And of course the forms I've worked with are also diverse, because you see some are in the round, you see some are on the wall, you see some relief works, you see some that have this architectonic, feelings to them. And of course I have design art. And of course if you look at some of the elements of designs that features in most of the works, you can see round, circle, kind of. So it's evolving in 360.
He says there's a symbiotic relationship between him and the materials he works with.
If genuinely you do your art with all your heart, then there is this communication between you and the material that you work with. And the material will definitely obey whatever you want the material to do. Because the material itself, wood itself, is a natural thing. Human beings, we're also part of nature. We are living, just like the wood is also living. So you can connect, spiritually with the material you work with, and definitely it will obey you to do whatever you want it to do. Given it that time, the commitment that you give to the material itself will let the material also respond to you in return, which is more or less symbiotic, kind of a thing.
He doesn't see waste the way the natural eye sees it.
It depends on who's defining it. I look at it as another material to work with. Because if it stops, where one thing stops, another one can take off from there. We can take it to another level, kind of a thing. It's just a material. And it's a way of telling my environment, my society, that we need to begin to appreciate certain things. We need to begin to redefine the use of things, rather than just trashing them, using them to constitute some sort of nuisance around us. We can redefine, what we want to use them for.
He addresses different societal issues.
I'm really glad I'm talking about this one work here because I titled the work, Yes We Can, simply because we always look outside for a lot of design objects. You see that it's made in US, it's made in Europe, it's made in China and all that. And I'm like, right here in Nigeria, we have designers who can fabricate, who can design things that we can consume locally. All these materials were sourced for locally, and they are recycled materials. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is forbidden fruit, and it's made out of a barrel of gas. And I say forbidden fruit because in Nigeria today, the bulk of our problem is caused by the fact that we are an oil-rich country. We have oil in abundance in Nigeria, and we tend to take it for granted. And that is what is causing the problem now, today in Nigeria, because we make so much money with, generate a lot of money from oil, and don't even know what to do with the money. This work is titled Window Dressing. Today I look at our society, and I see that we now probably breeding a new way of dressing our women when they're getting married. We now have those who call themselves costume artists or whatever they call, or makeup artists is what they call themselves. And they so much overdo the making up of the bride to the point where I'm sure even the husband, the groom may not even recognize the wife, at the wedding, that this is the person I'm marrying, because the makeup is so overdone, the dressing sometimes is so overdone to the point whereby that person loses her identity or her look in the process of trying to make her look presentable, to the audience or to the husband, kind of a thing. So hence I decided to do something like what we are seeing here that I call window dressing. See what is wearing on the neck, see the earrings, see all the, the Oyibo attachment, whatever, they have on the head. So that's window dressing.
Raqib Bashorun is a full-time lecturer at Eba College of Technology. He has a lot on his plate, yet he experiments every year.
I think it has to do with commitment, because I believe I've not come to this life just for the fun of it. I believe I'm here to be able to make an impact, I'm here to be able to do things that other people can probably be inspired, by, kind of a thing. Hence, I'm deeply, passionate about my art, my work, so I give it all that I've got.
Many came to see what a master is showing this time around.
Well, this show for Raqib Bashorun is the second in a series of solo exhibitions with the same theme called Evolving, and it shows an artist who is evolving towards perfection. And at the same time, you can draw an analogy with Nigeria's state, how the country, with the mantra of change the Buhari administration, how things are beginning to change in the country and there's no more corruption as usual. We're beginning to see great signs that the country is going to change for the better, and also an over-reliance of a monoproduct oil will no longer be the talk of the town. So we're very happy to have a show for an artist of this caliber.
He's already working his fingers to the bone in preparation for next year's solo exhibition.
I'm hoping that it will be better, bigger, than what we are seeing this year. That's my dream, kind of a thing. And I'm going to work and make sure that I'm able to realize that.
Good to have you back. Many people look forward to his yearly solo exhibition, and it wouldn't be an overstatement to say he raises the bar every year. Now to our leisure segment, we're showing you Idanre Hills report, but it was abridged. Today, you see me go up and down the 660 steps. Idanre is a town in Akure, Ondo State. I'll do the climbing, you just watch. I hired a cab from the main town to Idanre, a near smooth winding road, but for intermittent bumps. In about 30 minutes, I was at Idanre, the historic town in Ondo State. Owosheni, an excursion officer, lectures me on the features of this tourist site. He's not new on the job, so he's not bothered about the faded ink on the board. He knows the 11 attraction spots by heart.
The great step is the one you are about to climb now. Formerly it was 160 steps with 5 resting points along the road. But with the new construction now, we're having about 660 steps with the same 5 resting points. Agbogo footprints is a magical footprint on the rock. The tourist chalet is meant for lodging, to keep your night at the top of the hill. The ancient palace built about 800 years ago. Idanre people lived for good 800 years at the top of the hill before they came down to the present place in 1928. It was civilization that brought them down. Even not because of civilization, the present Idanre here might be at the top of the hill. The unreadable letters, we call it hieroglyphs. The striking of the light coming from the rock forming some alphabets. We have petroglyphs. Petroglyphs is in form of a diagram. The wonderful man placed on the hill over there dangling Omiapara and Arun River, unique in the sense of the therapy effect is having in the body. We believe it's healing when you dip yourself inside and bath with it. However, it too is unique in the sense that it forms a canopy. You know what we call a border in geography? The splitting of a part of a big rock to form another shape entirely. So it's in form of a cave. The old court and the old primary school built in the year 1896.
Idanre Hills measure about 50 kilometers in radius. It will take a tourist 3 days to cover the entire hills. I seem prepared to climb the 660 steps, and AD, another excursion officer, is willing to go all the way with me. I dragged Joshua along. He's a fan. We've covered 70 steps. Mr. Eddie, my tour guide, will talk to us about this place.
This is the cave. It's not sure it's a government object. This is where we can really relax your body when there is sun or rain. It's a cave.
70 steps covered, 590 more to go. This is a walk amidst beautiful hills of different sizes. The work of nature is spellbinding. Eddie tells me that water pebble was used for the steps. We've covered 260 steps. This is the second resting place. I'm so excited because, hey, I made it!
Take care.
There are 2 more resting points before getting to the 660th step. From here, one gets a panoramic view of the ancient town. This is the 4th resting point. That means we have gone 472 steps, and there's still so much energy in us. This is the last resting point. Don't be deceived. We still have 77 steps to go. We're standing on the very last step. That means we've covered 660 steps. If anybody had told me, Choma, you come this far, I would have said not to me. Now I know I have so much energy in me. Okay, from here downwards to where we're coming from is actually 4,700 feet above sea level. That means we've covered 4 kilometers. The journey on the plain path leads to the tourist chalets. A signpost makes sure you don't go the wrong direction. We're on top of the hill, and my guide, Mr. Eddie, has something to share with us about where we are.
Oh, thank you very much. Where we are about now is just 5,000 meters above sea level. Now you can see the part of the view. Now you see the down roof over there. It's the primary school, named Baptist Primary School. Founded in the year 1964 after the independence. Now the upper group over you see there with red roof with orange color there, rock over there. That's a new palace where King's now staying. We have ancient palace there, we have new palace over there.
So how long have you been on this job?
I'm not spending about 10 years here.
What is it like climbing, going down. Do you do this every day?
Yeah, I do it every day. It's very
How many
good.
times?
4 times or 5 times a day.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's good in body. It's natural. So I'm not a fit man.
How old are you?
I'm now 22 years old. Now, if you want to stay at top of hill over here, you have to come along with your food, prepare yourself well, or your kit. Make your kit when you're coming here. So all juice, buy juice and etc. to sustain you at top of hill over here.
Okay. But there's no light here.
No light here, we can provide a generator for you.
Okay.
Generator.
Okay. And then climbing the staircase, what do I really need?
You need water.
Okay.
You come along with water to sustain you. When you reach one side, you rest. 2 minutes, you start moving before you start out.
But you didn't come with water. You used to it.
You see, you are fit.
I have it on good authority that this tourist site is one of the most beautiful landscapes in the country. It plays host to scientists and field researchers. Filmmakers use it as location for many of their films. Idanre Hills have UNESCO's approval as a World Heritage Center. Welcome back. Idanre Hills, awesomely beautiful. Hope you enjoyed our film today. Thank you so much for being a part of Art and Leisure today. I want to remind you that we've uploaded more than 60 episodes of Art and Leisure online. Just visit www.artandleisure.com.ng. Please always leave a comment after watching each episode. My name is Chioma Okpara. By God's grace, same time, same station, next week, there'll be something new for you. Until then, love yourself, love Nigeria.